Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm the Educational Gamer and we are playing Space Program Manager. Just last time we had a horrible loss in that we did lose some flight crew. Is it actually shown over here? I thought it would be. Mission control? Yeah. I thought we had some memory over here. Apparently we do not. At any rate, we lost two of our astronauts on the moon. Actually, they did manage to make it, but it broke down over there due to failure, which was unspecified, either in the flight suits or in the Gemini spacecraft, or in the Gemini landing craft. So this turn we are trying to improve the reliability of that by doing another uncrewed flight test. We do also have two missions in progress, which will take some more time. Pioneer 11 in particular, we could briefly look at that. So Pioneer 11. Just what's your profile of this mission over here? So yeah, there's a lot of transit, I think. So probably this is all going to be extremely uneventful right until, at the very least, season 21. Yeah, so okay. We don't need to be too concerned about that. Then let's end the season over here. Let's make sure that our uncrewed test run is working well. The Saturn 1 booster is being improved a little bit. So is the direct descent module and these space suits, and these are the most important things to me. So yeah, I think Pioneer 11 will just resume that and we'll skip to the outcome, hopefully seeing it being successful. Yeah, that's nice to see. Marina 9, we'll resume that mission and monitor it from mission control, although I'm not too sure. Oh yeah, we are actually going to Mars, so that is going to be interesting to see. Let's see, Earth-Mars transit over here seems to be working fine. Mars approach, successful. Mars orbit insertion, also very good. And you're in Mars orbit. Are you? Yes, you are, so that's very lovely to see. There will be one more season where we will conduct a little bit more of the orbit research, but I do think we'll get the achievement now, unless I'm mistaken. Yeah, we do, so that's very lovely to see. And most importantly, we'll do the uncrewed suborbital flight test over here, hoping that we will beat the Soviets to this. So let's start and let's see. It's going to take a little while for all these steps to be conducted.
10, 9, ignition sequence start. 5,
Still, it would be so good to get the improvement.
Ignition. All engines are running.
Pretty much all components except the spacesuits. We have no way of testing out the spacesuits except going to the moon. Nevertheless, so far so good. First 3 or 4 steps being done over here. Seemingly very smooth. The Saturn V by now is a very reliable rocket. Watch me say that and it failing immediately. No, so far it seems to be going on alright. Achieved a nice orbit over here. Parking orbit, yeah, that's alright. Successful, okay, so the launch itself was okay. Let's see whether we can get to the moon, get into orbit, and then back. Going to the moon seems to be alright. Yeah, Saturn V doing really well for us over here. Direct descent module and the Gemini spacecraft on top and in the back respectively. Going to the moon. Doing the insertion. I'm so upset we lost people last time. Yeah, this is not worth the improvement, so let's see whether we will get this fix done. Yeah, looks good. Very nice. You know, somehow I wish there was a little mini game, but then again, mini games tend to be so annoying, so on the other hand I'm happy that didn't happen. So yeah, lunar orbit well established. Getting back to the Earth should hopefully not be too much of a problem. At least in the very last 3 stages. Come on, work alright, otherwise we'll come on, yeah, good. Okay, if we fail over here, we have the opposite of what we want to do, and that is the reliability of the whole system would drop instead of increase. And we'd much rather have it increase. So, but at the very least the direct descent module has been ditched, so that should be alright from now. So we are now only looking at the Gemini spacecraft itself. which I think is pretty well optimized, so even if it was to fail now, we'd still see an improvement on all of the other critical components. Except again, the spacesuits. So, looking good over here. I think the recovery should not be the problem. And even if it was, I mean, the overall mission to me would still be successful. Here we go, very little prestige earned, but that's fine. We don't need that much, but I do want to put a man on the moon before the Soviets do that. Yeah, and very nice upgrades I have to say over here, especially on the Gemini Direct Descent module. So let's hope we don't get any bad news from the Soviets. We do. They have conducted a lunar orbital flight. So they're the first ones to actually do that. Lunar orbital flight, manned lunar orbit. Ooh, uncrewed. They are skipping ahead so much, they're taking so many risks, and I thought, well, I thought we didn't. I thought we'd be fine. Significant will boost the results of R&D process by another 19%. That's very good to see. But let's have a look at how things look actually. So, yeah, that has actually been maxed out now, so that's good to see. So all of these systems have maxed out, except for the spacesuits, which is unfortunate. Pioneer 10, Pioneer 11, you are maxed out. That's good to see. Marina 9, we don't really need you to try to improve that because you're not very good at that anyway, so let's get you over here on the Viking 1, on the Viking Orbiter. I think the Viking Lander is the more critical component over here. We do have 6 people on busy, so I guess you are just the people for the crewed spacecraft. Your rocket, your EVA suit. That's interesting. Crewed spacecraft, crewed spacecraft, okay. Under these circumstances, let's have a look at the EVA suits. Yeah, you're marginally better. Not gonna be much change, but still worthwhile to me. So, and we have that rocket person. So, let's go to rockets. Manage our rocket programs over here. So the Saturn 1 booster is our last remaining rocket, and you're still better at that. So that again means that you over here will just receive another training. All of these other people, I'm not too sure what to do with. There's no crewed spacecraft system for any of these other planets, so we don't necessarily need to do that, and I don't think it would be prudent for us to open another program just yet, so maybe we'll just not need that. Pioneer Venus Orbiter. How far is the development of all of the other things? 87%, but I think... Are you flying already? I thought you were. Then again, it's such a long mission that it might make sense to keep that going. It looks awfully similar. Pioneer 12, yeah, you need some improvement still. Okay, so that's fine then, I guess. Do we have... So we've got this program open, right? Yeah, we do. Anyway, okay, so it's the middle of 1970. We could wait for 1 season, and these guys will have finished their training. And I think a lot of our flight controllers would have finished their training as well. It's not crucial. Would be nice for the flight directors, specifically. And then we can pull off all of the other guys out of training. Just want to see the people who are training. A lot of them, well, some of them are just training for 1 season. It's really only the flight directors, and maybe Howard. And of course the astronauts. How much do we gain by waiting a turn? Well, maybe percentage point. How good are our astronauts looking then? So we have Nigel, who stay on the ground. You are pretty good, actually. You're not extremely good at EVAs. Cynthia, you're extremely good. And you were extremely lucky not to get on the last train. And Fabia, both of you are really good. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna pull you off from training. You as well. Nigel, you'll be our ground communicator. It's gonna be alright. And then we need the directors. That's Federus. Yes. Still a small improvement. And you, still a small improvement. So that's alright. Good. Here we go again. Let's try one more time. Gemini direct descent program already opened. Let's do another moon landing. And you know what? We might pretend that your mission is going to be to retrieve the bodies of the others. Yes, I do want to assemble that now. I do want to start with the flight director and the assistant flight director, and then auto assign all the other ones. Should be fine. Extremely good crew again. Extremely good. So let's confirm these assignments. Fabia and Cynthia. Does that make sense actually? So commander, pilot. I guess. Right, let's confirm these assignments. Lots of money being deducted. Should be alright though. And we do have 4 people who are idle right now, but I'm not too phased about these. These guys over here we might send to training nonetheless, because you will get a little bit better over time. And that is worth something to me. Tucker. What? Okay, I guess. Right. Let's end the season. Let's get it done this time. Small improvements. Even on the Saturn 1 booster still. Pioneer 10. Pioneer 12. The Viking orbiters. And most importantly, the spacesuit. Pioneer 11, we can, I guess, assign flight controllers. I mean, you guys are all alright, so yeah, why not confirm these? Let's resume the mission, skip to the outcome. You're just coasting anyway, and you're doing so successfully, so I appreciate that. Marina 9, we are going to resume that mission and monitor it from mission control, because I do want to know what you're doing. Probably just orbiting, is that correct? And still, we get some pictures of Mars, and that's very lovely to see. Good. Done. Successful mission. Lots of prestige points coming in. Very nice to see. And some bonus things over here, so that's always good as well. But here we are. This is the big one. Again. Let's do hope that we are gonna be better off this time. We're gonna monitor from mission control, of course. And I'm so nervous. It was such a disappointment that it didn't work last time. We have a little bit better components this time.
Ignition sequence start. 5, 4. We have ignition. All engines are running.
Here we go. Launch. Successful. Ascend.
11 Houston, thrust is go. All engines, you're looking good. Roger, you're loud and clear, Houston.
Successful. So far our Saturn V rocket is serving us very well. Very good. Parking orbit. Very soon you'll start your burn towards the moon. Successful. There we go. There's the burn. Now the Saturn V should get dropped. There we go. So Saturn V is gone. Now it's only the Gemini spacecraft and the ascent module.
Been kind of a busy day. Thanks much. That about does it. And flight says to tell you good night.
Beautiful picture here coming off the moon coming
All
up.
your systems are looking good. Going around the corner. We'll see you on the other side. Over.
Orbit insertion. Burn on the dark side of the moon. So far so good. We did manage to do this last time as well.
Okay, all flight controllers, gonna go for landing. Retro. Go. Right up.
Lunar orbit.
Go. Control. Go. Go.
Successful.
Go.
Next thing is the landing itself. Power descent, yeah. Successful. Landing.
Okay, you're 31 feet per second.
Come on. Ah! Here we are, the first problem. So, we don't really have the money to try and fix it, so let's hope that 90% is good enough. Come on. Come on. Yes! So far so good, but problems are occurring this time earlier than they did last time.
Okay, engine stop.
It was on the surface activities last time that things did go wrong, so I'm still extremely nervous over here, especially since the EVA suits are not the greatest.
One giant leap for mankind.
Some of these small depressions,
Come on.
Two rocks side by side, meter or two in diameter. It does weigh when you do
Come
that.
on. Beautiful.
Oh, what a nice day. Oh.
Yes! Yes, we did manage that, so
7, 6, 5.
it's very good. Lift off. Successful. I don't see it lifting off. There we go, the ascent.
1,000 feet high, 80 feet
Good,
per second.
good. Now you
Vertical
need to
rise.
orbit again. Oh no, you're just going directly back to Earth. Okay, it's interesting. So now we are back to known ground. This is what has worked before.
nominal.
Mark 8. Roger.
Coasting back to the Earth.
Everything is green there.
Good. And now re-entry. That's a little bit more difficult though.
to be going back home and back to our home.
But then again, our heat shield did seem to work on the uncrewed run, so...
Atmospheric entry on my mark.
Here we go, for re-entry. Very good, very good. Re-entry successful, so descent and splashdown. Much less nervous now, these things should not go wrong. Although of course historically they did. After all, the stress on the astronauts is pretty high. But we are at recovery, and that's looking really, really good. Yes! Yes! Lots of prestige points, but more importantly, we did beat the Soviets to the moon. At the very least on a manned landing. They were in orbit before we were. They did bring home samples before we did. But we are the ones who actually managed to go to the moon first. And we actually got a Duration 3 achievement over here, so that's very nice to see as well. Lovely. And it did even boost these things, so that's nice to see. Excellent, excellent. Very happy about this result. So, Soviets doing some things, but they haven't gone to the moon, and we have beaten them there, so that is absolutely fantastic to see. I'm extremely happy to see that, and that's very, very, very lovely to me. Andy is boosted. Lovely! So, the United States of America triumphed once again. The first man on the moon is an American, confirming the technological and economical superiority of this great nation. Almost every human on the planet listens to the live broadcast of the lunar landing, causing an enormous prestige boost. Certainly hope they didn't listen for the first time. You are confirmed as the NASA administrator, and Congress declares itself in favor of the sustained funding of the agency. The President of the United States invites you to the White House for an official celebratory event, and privately proposes to you to begin to work on the building of space stations in Earth orbit, of a lunar base, and on the manned exploration of Mars. Your fame allows you to establish partnerships with the greatest universities. NASA becomes the ideal workplace for researchers and engineers and technicians from all around the world. The Soviet Union denies the mere existence of its manned lunar program, and now limits its ambitions to flights in Earth orbit and to a robotic program of space exploration. Only Eastern Europe, China, Vietnam, North Korea and Cuba stay within the Soviet Union sphere of influence, and at the cost of strict law enforcement. The Eastern Bloc becomes geopolitically and economically isolated, leading to a slow decline. The United States and the United Kingdom strengthen their prosperous market economy, while Western Europe organizes itself and becomes a full economical partner. Numerous rising countries in Africa, Asia and South America become exclusive investment markets. You are awarded the NASA Distinguished Service Medal and become one of the men in the nations that have the most influence on internal politics. So, Buzz Aldrin here, congratulating us pretty much on a good run. There is a little bit of a mouthful, I think, in saying that the space program so much changed the course of history, but still we did manage to get the second highest award in NASA due to our prestige, our goals that we did manage, our successful missions. We did fail on 3 missions, and this included unfortunately losing people in the astronaut corps, so that is not great. On the manned goals, I think we did many things. Not a crew transfer. That is pretty much the only thing that we are missing here, right? Yeah, so that's something that we didn't do. Robotic goals, we didn't get a Venus orbiter. Okay, that's interesting. But all in all, we are very good over here. So that is very, very nice to see. Now, I'm gonna just play around to skip ahead probably. Gonna cut the videos a little bit just to see the rest of the missions over here. It's gonna be mostly robotic missions. I don't think we'll need to do another lunar mission. So in fact, I think we can probably... Let's have a look at the achievements over here. So I think probably, yeah, we did manage to clear all of the achievements from the Gemini Director's ascent vehicle, so can definitively close that. And you can see we did close off a lot of these other achievements as well. Just these are really mission specific things, so honestly I'm not too interested in those. Just wondering whether there is an orbital lunar transfer, orbital crew transfer. Doesn't look like it. Is there maybe one on Project Apollo? No, there are more badges. Well, there are 3 crewed spacecraft. But no, not really. The only thing that I feel would really be an advantage of Project Apollo would be the rover landing. Yeah, rover vehicle. So that is something you can do with the that you cannot do with the direct descent vehicle because of the way that the mass works out. But I think it's going to be alright, so we don't need to do that. So all in all, I think this is fine, and you know what? At this point, I think we can cut the video, and I thank you very much for watching. Next time will only be a couple of the lunar missions, the space probes, but I won't record this stuff in between because I feel we have managed to achieve our goal over here. Let's briefly look at the goals comparison. Look a little bit at what we did. So we did put in a satellite into space a little bit before the Soviets, so unhistorically early there. They did manage to beat us with the lunar probe by about 2 years, which is a little bit discerning, but that was mainly, I feel, due to a gap in the rockets. They were a little bit ahead on us there. Similarly, the lunar flyby. On the other hand, they did never achieve a lunar orbiter probe, nor a lunar impactor, so that's nice to see. We were the only ones going to other planets. Sun, well, the Sun and other planets, Mercury, Venus. No Venus orbiter. We did do Mars. We did get a Mars orbiter. No Jupiter, no Saturn. Nobody really got very much extended durations. However, the Soviets were earlier than us in establishing even the level 1. Level 2 much earlier. And level 3 4 years before us. So, yeah, they certainly had a head start there. We were the first to put a man into space and a man into orbit, but remember they did that just 1 turn after we did, and they did that at the same time actually, so they jumped ahead a little bit there. Spacewalk, again, they were a little bit before us. Joint manned launch is something we did though. And rendezvousing, docking in space, certainly all things that we did first. And we did get the lunar landings before they did, so that's fantastic to see. I'm wondering when they would have been able to do so. So yeah, For now, I'm extremely happy, so thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.